Come on this side. Yes. Go ahead, start it. Thank you, everyone. Well, we're ready to go.
Can you guys be sure to self-ID yourself and spelling, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So your name and
This is like not gonna work out for me. Keep it like that. Okay,
You want me-
fine.
you can hold
That's
it.
fine.
You can just hold it if you want.
Shouldn't even have this. Okay. Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Miriam Sharara, Mariam. Last name is Charara. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Miriam Sharara, Executive Director of the Arab American Civil Rights League. The Arab American Civil Rights League is a dedicated organization committed to upholding civil rights, advocating for justice, and ensuring the safety and well-being of Arab Americans all over the nation. We address a crisis that has unfolded in Gaza, affecting American citizens stranded in a war zone. This is not just the story of one family. It is the story of many, and it is a matter of great urgency. For the past 4 weeks, our fellow American citizens in Gaza have been living in unimaginable conditions. The State Department has been communicating with them, directing them to border for evacuation, only to turn them back repeatedly. This relentless cycle of hope and despair must come to an end. Enough is enough. Our American citizens in Gaza face a dire situation: the lack of food, the lack of medicine, the lack of supplies, electricity, and access to clean water. This prolonged ordeal has resulted in severe medical, emotional, and psychological trauma and hardship. Families are suffering. Children are enduring fear and trauma, and the situation is deteriorating day by day. We at the Arab American Civil Rights League bear witness to the devastating experiences that we stand in solidarity with the Al-Araishi family, who represent the tribulation of many others. Just yesterday, a list published by the Palestinian Custom Authority outlining individuals permitted to cross the Egypt border became public to the media and to the world. Our client, Zakaria Al-Araishi, was fortunate enough to be on that list, granting him the chance to travel. However, his wife, Layla, was not included. She was denied entry despite having all the necessary information. The agonizing choice of staying behind with a loved one who was suffering from medical issues, a language barrier, and other challenges is a cruel testament to the separation of families as he remained by her side. Indeed, while we acknowledge that the border has opened, allowing some to return to safety, it is imperative to emphasize that the mission is far from complete. Our relentless efforts must continue until all the stranded families make it home. Moreover, we cannot ignore the painful separation of families that has occurred. It has been 4 long weeks, and during this time, the State Department collected all the information necessary to compile a comprehensive and accurate list. There should have been no one turned away. We must hold ourselves accountable for the inexcusable gaps that have left families divided in anguish. The pain of this separation is not unique to the Al-Araishi family. It's a shared anguish, shared experience by families across the country and nation. Calls pour in from those who separated from their loved ones, including innocent babies and children left behind. The separation is inhumane and unacceptable. The State Department's actions, or lack thereof, have failed to provide a clear, consolidated list, causing tremendous stress and uncertainty for these families. Our fellow Americans in Gaza are desperate. They do not want to die in a foreign land. They want to come home. Their pleas echo across the world, touching our hearts and reminding us of the moral obligation we bear as a nation. They are trapped in a place where medical conditions deteriorate, physical exhaustion sets in, and the emotional burden becomes unbearable. The Al-Araishi family represents one of many stories, each symbolic of the larger cities. These are American citizens who have contributed to their communities, paid their taxes, and exercised their rights to vote. They now face a crisis that have left them hanging by a thread. struggling to survive in a foreign land separated from their families. It is our solemn duty in their safe return. We call on the U.S. government to take immediate and decisive action, leveraging all available diplomatic channels to bring our citizens home. There is not just distant face. These are not just distant faces. They are all fellow Americans, and they deserve the relentless pursuit of their safety and family unity. Thank you. I'm going to turn the stage to Nabi Ayad, founder of the ACRL.
Thank you, Miriam, our executive director, who's been literally working around the clock for the last month. Calls at 3 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning, and it's around the clock going on, trying to save one life at a time. I'm sorry that our chairman cannot be here. He's stuck in a obligated hearing. He would love to have been here, Jim Allen. But Jim Allen, as well as William Savage and a number of attorneys, have been working around the clock. The ACRL, as you know, put a hotline together for individuals that are stuck in Gaza, United States citizens and green card holders. From that hotline, we were able to get over 50 to 60 plaintiffs around the country. We've mobilized over 35 attorneys across this nation, have filed lawsuits across this nation to address this dire situation for United States citizens stuck abroad. And I want to make crystal clear that we are happy that our brothers and sisters in our Jewish community have been evacuated, and we want that, and that's exactly what should happen. But at the same time, we must recognize that there are United States citizens of Palestinian descent that are stuck there. We ask our government to take exact and immediate important decisions to remove these individuals and help them to be evacuated. Now it's going on since October 7, we're going on over 3.5 weeks, and United States citizens have still not been evacuated. We heard the news that from the White House that over 400 to hundreds of individuals are being evacuated, but that's foreign individuals are being evacuated. I think we heard of 2 United States citizens are being evacuated. Our client, the Al-Araishi family, has gone 6 times to the border and only to be met with, it's closed, you cannot leave. We're calling upon our government to expedite, use all your resources that you have capable as the most powerful nation in the world, do better. We're calling the White House, you can do better, Mr. President. You can do better. Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, let's do better. Let's get our United States citizens out of there. We're not talking about some North Korea government, or we're talking about a government of Israel that is a staunch ally to the United States citizens, and they can do a lot more, as well as with the Egyptian government as an ally of the United States, that they can remove these individuals. They can get them to safe haven. Our clients, we may not see this on mainstream media, but they're drinking salt water. There's no food, there's no water, there's no electricity. How are you even supposed to communicate when the power and electricity and the service is shut off for even the State Department to notify these individuals to get to safe haven and go to the border and leave? This is a humanitarian crisis like no other that we've seen in the last number of years. We feel that our government can just simply do more. We want you to do more. We want you to take action and evacuate these people. Why is the United States of America only had 2 out of the 400 people that were evacuated? To me, it's a strike in the face of our justice system and what we do here in Clear as Americans. We're so proud to be Americans. We just need to do more. Let's get these people out. We don't know if the Al-Araishi family is going to be allowed to evacuate today. We're hoping, we're praying, we're working around the clock to make that happen. So again, I'm going to turn it over to the son of the Al-Araishi, please, Yahya,
Yep.
and also then after to Lisa, his wife. Go ahead, please.
Could you spell your name, sir?
Yahya Al Araishi, YahyA, Alarayashi. So we've been really struggling over here for the last 4 weeks. I haven't been really working since 4 weeks. We have problems that my father and my mother hasn't been able to make it here, and they're struggling there. We don't know any day that they got the strikes of bombing is around them, literally around them, every single day for the last 3.5 weeks. and we want them home. We want them home as soon as possible. And that's what we've been asking the State Department, and we're asking a lot of people to make it happen.
How many family members do you have open?
And they are sick. Their diabetes, their high blood pressure, and they have no medication. They have no clean water. They have no really bathroom to use over there. They have to wait for an hour to use the bathroom because there is a lot of people around them and a lot of sick people too. And they're not just them. There's a lot of other Americans that live there and in the same situation, in the same case. They live in a building where it's like 150 people in the same, probably 2,000 square feet. And they wait on the bathroom, they wait on the food, they wait on everything. So they need to come home. They went there for a vacation and they need to come home.
Can you tell us how old
Can we hold the questions, please, until Lisa, if I could bring Lisa and say a few words, and then we can open it up for questions, please.
I'm Lisa Alarashi, LISA, ALARAYSHI. Those are my in-laws that are there. I know that right now they're sleeping on like a blanket on a hard floor. They're in their 60s, and I don't think that I would be able to tolerate sleeping on a floor for even one night of my life. And the fact that they're doing that for the last several weeks is heartbreaking to me. I can't imagine how much pain that they're in and how much they're suffering. The fact that they don't have any more medicine or insulin for diabetes is pretty scary to me. I don't know what's going to be the long-term health effects of that. And I do find it to be, I don't know, it's just astounding to me that we cannot open the border with people's names on a list to let them out. It's not like we're asking for someone to endanger themselves or for anyone to come out onto the streets to help them or even for any financial aid, just for them to be able to cross the border. That's all that we really need to happen.
Thank you, Lisa. We'll just open it up at this time for questions.
So they've been to the border how many times and been turned away?
They've been to the border over 6 times and they've been turned away. And they're residing literally within 15 minutes of the border. As you know, in our earlier messages, they've heard their neighbor's houses got blown up and what have you. So, and we have, very desperate messages. They think they're going to die there. This is a family, American family from Livonia. They have businesses, they have family, they have 15, 16 grandchildren. They want them back home,
They went there on vacation. When did they leave?
End of September.
Sorry, end of September.
I think September 26th they left
Are
here.
they from the area originally and went back home, or?
They went to visit their kids and their brothers, and their brothers and sisters, and their grandchildren that live in Gaza.
And you guys live in Livonia?
We don't, but they do.
Yeah.
They live.
They live in Livonia.
You mentioned they have businesses. What kind of business are they in?
Like metal
Construction.
What are the names of the people who are still trapped here from this family?
Zachariah Al-Araishi
and Layla?
and Layla Al-Araishi.
Is that in your press release?
Yes.
That is, yes.
In the press release, you had mentioned that apparently Mr. Al-Rashi's name was on the list of people who would have been allowed to exit, but his wife was not. So obviously he made the decision not to leave her and to stay. I mean, obviously the information you're getting from the government has been conflicting and confusing, but is there any indication of that, she will be added to the list? Do you know anything about that?
We've reached out to congressional offices and legislators as well. We've reached out to the State Department to make sure that they're receiving our responses to this, and we're echoing the same statement while prioritizing and flagging the name. They did receive, Mr. Zachariah did inform us that he received a call from Washington, D.C. recently and said that they will add her name to the list. So we're hoping and praying that that's the case, and we're hoping and praying that that's what's going to happen very soon.
When did he get that call?
He got that call last night.
Okay. And where are they currently? Are they in Rafah or at the border?
They are in Rafah.
Okay.
They're close to the border.
And just to be clear, this is a situation not just limited to the Al-Araishi family. We have a number of families that we said that Israel has retained to around the country, and some of the families, they will say, will approve the U.S. citizen children, but not the parents. And the children obviously cannot travel without their parents. The parents are not going to leave their children behind or what have you. So this is the situation that's going on. So it's the issues getting more as to the green card holders that are allowed necessarily to return back to the United States. They should be allowed to be returned, especially when you have U.S. citizen family members.
So sorry.
Is that what the holdup is for Layla? Is it
I don't. I think they're trying to prioritize the U.S. citizens, but in doing so, you just simply can't, as a humanitarian thing, you simply can't divide a family up. I mean, a mother would not want to leave without her child if her child is a green card holder, and vice versa, as well as a spouse, like here we have in the Al Araisha family.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, the Rafah border with Egypt, yes, and we know.
Yesterday called for a humanitarian pause to let these people get out safely. Is the family looking for something like this, a ceasefire in the time that they can evacuate through the Rafah border?
I mean, we would all love a ceasefire for all the humanitarian concerns for all Gaza people. If we can bring all Gaza individuals, innocent individuals here, that would be great. But we're doing what we can to at least bring the United States citizens, green card holders here back. And we do absolutely ask for a ceasefire in that sense because, again, to allow these individuals to have some kind of humanitarian aid, be in the trucks to be able to deliver, to give them food, water, electricity, things of this nature.
When you ask for the State Department to do more, when we talk about a list, the State Department generate the list of Americans that were to be. So did it fall through on our end as far as requesting by name who should be able to come home, or can you give me a little more idea here?
Google Doc.
Yeah. There's a list that we've submitted. We can send that list over. There's a Google Doc list as well as to the United States citizens, whether they're citizens or passport numbers, as well as green card holders as well. So there is that list that's there that the State Department has, and to again, these individuals just need to verify that they're U.S. citizens or green card holders to be put on that list.
Yeah.
But again, it's one thing to say something; it's another thing to take action, and we want just more action to be taken under these set of
So that's what I was
circumstances.
after. Meaning, what are you asking in specific in regard to? Is it the list and getting her name on it, or what
No,
other
the name
actions?
is there. They got the names. We want them to be able to cross that border in Rafah to allow them exit.
Understand?
Yeah,
Right, and we
yeah.
want to make sure that they're cross-referencing the list. If they come out with a list today, we want to make sure that the list yesterday isn't forgotten. We want to make sure that if we have family members, considering the fact that we completed the crisis intake form several times, there should be no reason why families are not together. There should be no reason why families are not unified and they're separated instead. This is a cry for help because now the individuals' names that are on the list are forcing to stay back. Imagine having to stay back in the war zone when they just had the chance of freedom.
I guess
Just
what I'm
imagine
asking.
the horrific decision a family member has to make, whether to leave a war zone, or a horrible, hell that you have to leave, or, stay with your child or your spouse in that situation. Horrific.
What I'm confused by still is how much control does the State Department of the United States, for that matter, even have on the situation on the ground? Is my point. You're calling for them, and I respect what you're saying, but they don't control the war zone. They don't control what's happening.
Well, this is not North Korea, all
They
right.
do
And in
control
all
opening the
sense,
border.
they do control their staunchest ally and friend, Israel. They do have extensive influence over Egypt. That is where it's at. They can have numerous points of where they can actually exit from, and we've seen this. And this is not a what you call a Navy SEAL or military operation where they have to go in certain areas and remove. This is I assure you that in the Gaza situation, they're not going to want to sit there and execute Palestinian individuals as they're trying to be removed from that region. There's many different capabilities that are at play with the United States government and their abilities to evacuate. I mean, this is not the first war-torn situation around the world. We've seen evacuations, U.S. embassies around the world from many different forces at play to be able to evacuate U.S. citizens and take them out of harm's way.
Just what? Oh, no, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I think the disconnect is the State Department and our U.S. government not prioritizing Palestinians, United States citizens in this region. I hate to say this. We're all United States citizens. A United States citizen is a United States citizen. I don't care what background, creed, or you're from. We must prioritize all U.S. citizens, all of them. And absolutely, like I said again, we absolutely want our brothers and sisters in the Jewish community to be absolutely evacuated to start out of harm's way. But we also want for our brothers and sisters in the Palestinian community to be evacuated and out of harm's way. There should be no double standard here. Absolutely not.
Just one more thing. Do you have access to the State Department list and who's on it as it's being continually updated?
Yes,
Now,
absolutely.
we don't have the most up to date, but they're continually updating it, and they'll repost it once they do have updates. But we do have the list since yesterday.
Oh, I see. Is that something that we or the public can access?
Yes.
Or, okay. Where,
Yeah, we
I
just
can access it.
we gave it to CNN today as well as Routers as
Okay.
well as Spell.
Are you aware of any other Metro Detroiters that are stuck over there at this time?
Um,
There could be.
there could be. I know there's got to be a number. It's just again getting the word out there and people being informed of what's going on to be able to be added to that list.
Yeah, we do. There is one from Dearborn, actually. Yeah, the little boy.
There's some
That we can use in our telling our story.
absolutely yeah.
Get those to us. And then you had mentioned some recordings of them talking about, I guess, the situation that they're facing. I don't know, are those available at all?
Yes.
Those are available. Yeah, we done. I think we done one just as late as yesterday for
yesterday.
CNN, right? Yeah, this morning for CNN as well, and
Yeah,
Routers. Yeah,
It was a plea for help from Zachary Al-Araishi, trying to get the government and the president to hear him out. He's lost medication. He has no food, no electricity, no water. He's terrified, and he echoed the statement that he does not want to die there. So we have those recordings.
And to get this to us when we're
Sure.
here.
absolutely.
Sure. Again, this press release is not just for one family. It's for a nationwide coalition of families that have been calling us since the morning. You know, for families being split up and babies being, not able to cross the border. It's just to make sure that we're continuing to echo the same statement. So this exact topic is not forgotten because a list just came out.
Yeah.
We want to make sure to continue to echo that statement.
Are
And
you
it-
in daily contact with them?
Yeah, Miriam, our
Yes.
executive director, is in daily
Family
contact.
is too.
Probably in hourly contacts with them. But again, we want to make sure very clear. Absolutely we want the Al-Arashi family back home safe and sound, but it's about the rest of the families and the over 600 United States citizens across this country that the ACRL has been fighting for now with all different states, all different cities around the country. We have volunteer attorneys that have been working around the clock, following these laws, drawing up these lawsuits, communicating with these families, having media contacts around the country as well to make sure that we continue the pressure on to allow our U.S. citizens to come back home safely and sound.
Thank you. If you don't mind giving us the pictures and
Sure.
audio recordings.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank
Of
you.
course.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you for coming out.
And also just a link or whatever
Sure.
to that list. Okay,
Yeah.
great. You've got
I'll
my
take your-
email. Thanks.
I do have your email.
Yeah, I'm Sarah with Michigan Radio. We
What's
talked
your name?
yesterday.
I'm doing. How are you? I don't know how you doing.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, no,
You
I
gotta send
texted you
me-
my email.
You just gotta send me an email.